Hello, Pain Free for Life members, and welcome to our Monday 10-minute training. So today I'm going to switch things up a little bit, and we're going to talk about PTSD. So we're shifting from more of a pain conversation to a PTSD mental health conversation here. But there is a connection. When we think of pain-related PTSD, we're usually thinking of war, car accidents, natural disasters, other life-altering events. But when you live with chronic pain, no matter the cause, your life becomes a traumatic event in its own right. Now, trigeminal nerve stimulation offers a viable opportunity to make a huge difference in resolving the mental and emotional issues that are faced by people in pain. And that's why I want to talk about this today. Now, the connection between chronic pain and PTSD is very, very real. And if you can't break this like pain PTSD cycle, you may never find the relief that you're looking for. One study conducted by the University of Kansas, I believe, found that chronic pain sufferers were about 28, maybe in 34%, somewhere in the 28 to 35 range, 28% more likely to report experiencing PTSD than people in the general population. So if you suspect that your chronic pain is affecting your mental well-being, you're definitely not crazy. And you're not alone. There's lots of people out there that are affected by this. Now, while trigeminal nerve stimulation was initially intended to treat PTSD almost exclusively, we found that many of our chronic pain patients have developed some level of PTSD because of their chronic pain. It's all connected. Fortunately, trigeminal nerve stimulation has been scientifically shown to improve depression and PTSD severity significantly. So there is definitely hope. We recommend this protocol be used for addressing insomnia. We'll get to that in a little bit here. Reducing brain aging, decreasing anxiety, clearing up brain fog, addressing the long-lasting effects of PTSD, helping you to heal from physical and emotional trauma, preventing and treating symptoms of depression, reducing overall stress, improving the symptoms of ADHD, and even eliminating stress-induced headaches, maybe getting them to go away forever and not come back. Now, when it comes to working on PTSD, it is all about gamma waves, okay? We love our gamma waves here at Pain Free for Life. Gamma waves are a brain frequency that is most often associated with meditation or sleep. They have a much higher cognitive processing level. It's really hard to access gamma waves while we're just going about our day-to-day business. And that's why so many of us find that meditations, if we're able to meditate, can help us control our perception and reaction to the world around us. So people that meditate are often able to handle pain levels and handle situations in life much more easily than the majority of people may be able to do. Now, trigeminal nerve stimulation allows you to calm yourself by tapping into the benefits of the gamma waves. And the trigeminal nerve, which we access through the forehead here, is just kind of one access point to the brain. We use this nerve because it's a cranial nerve. We're able to use this to conduct electricity and access the brain itself. So the result of doing this with gamma waves is that it becomes far, far easier for you to relax, fall asleep, and even ease the symptoms of pain-induced PTSD. So it was over a year ago. It may have even been 2 years ago now is how long this has been out and about. Our amazing private membership community helped us to kind of beta test this protocol, and the results were better than we could have hoped. Honestly, like the main thing that we were looking at was just this concept of whether this government-approved treatment that was coming about could be performed with these devices, and what results would we get in comparison to the results that they were getting. And as with many things, everything's proprietary, so it's really hard to lift the veil and see what they're doing. So it came down to, well, we know they're treating the trigeminal nerve, and what would make sense to use. So we tried a couple of different frequencies actually in this beta test. At first, we tried the gamma, and we also tried 121 hertz. And I will tell you that 121 hertz did not do the trick. People were not happy with 121 hertz. We saw an increase in headaches. We saw some higher stress levels and things like that. And this is because the brain does not really operate above about 45 hertz, maximum range of gamma. It doesn't go any higher than that. So it was almost like we were just messing with the brain and we were triggering a bunch of different issues. So before this, without the private membership group, we may not have been able to discover this because we were able to get a bunch of statistics from people and see what was working and what wasn't working. And so I have the results here. I wish I could make this image bigger, but just by the nature of the image, the results get covered up by my face if I make that work. So we'll just have to work from it from here. But these are the results that we experienced. And I'll also show you how to do this treatment. It's very, very easy. So we originally intended this to be for PTSD, but the group was saying, well, what about depression? Can we try it for anxiety, right? And so people reported back what they tried it on. We had a very small group of people that tried it for ADHD. It was like 4 people that had that they wanted to give it a shot for. So as you can see from the results there, we had 75% improvement in ADHD symptoms, which was a 3 out of 4. So not as impressive. The rest of the pool of people was about 50 people. So this was much more statistically significant. So what we saw was anxiety. We saw a 95% improvement in anxiety. This was done over a 6-week period of daily treatment, just typically done before bed, but done at different times depending on the people's schedules. And these were lasting results. So these were not things that after the 6 weeks, people needed to come back and retreat and retreat and retreat to keep them up. This was like they did a course of treatment and they were done. So we had 95% improvement in anxiety, 85% improvement in depression, 75% improvement in PTSD, which when we were dealing with 50 people was much more significant than dealing with 4. And then though we weren't testing for this, we had a lot of reports of improved sleep length. So people that were struggling with their sleep were actually able to sleep longer and better by doing this protocol for that extended period of time. Now, this does make sense. I mean, if you have a high anxiety, depression, stress mode going on, you're not going to be able to sleep as well. So once we reduce those other symptoms, the sleep improvement would happen. But still, people that don't even believe that they have anxiety, depression, PTSD, any of those things, have gone ahead and used this for sleep and experienced the benefits of it as well, especially when the ear clips aren't really doing the trick. It's not so much about getting to sleep for them as it is waking up a bunch throughout the night. So those were the results. Now, what about the protocol itself? Well, it is written in nice small print there on that slide that I can't really make bigger. But essentially, we're using these trigeminal pads. Now, these come stock with the Evolution. The Evolution or the Pro device, you really need those for this because they're the only ones with gamma in them. The other devices don't have gamma. Gamma running between 32 and 45 hertz. So I've got my 2 pads here, right? You can see that there. I'm going to put them on my forehead and show you how this works. But the first thing that I always see people having trouble with is when you first get a red and black wire, you notice that the gap here is so small that if you were to try and spread these pads apart, you would be struggling. So just to show it on video here, you can take both of these wires and just pull, and it will split the middle, and it will break them apart. You don't have to be gentle with it here because it's just a little like a cuff, a plastic cuff that keeps them in the way there. Now, taking one pad at a time, and it doesn't matter whether red is on one side or another, I'm going to put this pad over my eyebrow. It's hard to kind of do this on camera. Okay. And then what I like to do is I like to tuck this behind my ear. And then I would do the other side here as well. Right around there should be fine. And you can let it dangle around there however you want to do it. The pads also go in 2 different directions. So you could use one from each side and then you could have it wrapped around there. So once you've got them on there, you can attach the device, set it to 32 to 45 hertz, and adjust the power until you can feel it. Now, typically, don't hold it down. A couple of presses, you're going to feel it on here. You got to watch out for the sensitivity of the temples as well. Personally, I like to cut these. These are a brand new set. I like to cut these down. You'll notice on the back of the wire there that the wire only goes so far into the pad. So you can trim these down to fit better by taking off quite a bit, even probably half of this. to make sure that you're primarily focusing on the trigeminal nerve area above the eyebrows. So you just want it to be kind of right here. So it's across there, not too far onto the temples. You don't really want to touch those. And it's that simple. You would run it for 30 minutes. Most people did it lying down because it was just more comfortable. And if the pads you're finding aren't quite sticking enough, you just need a little bit of tensive gel. This will increase the stickiness of the pads and will enable you to get them stuck on there for the time. Now, again, 6 weeks of treatment here is what I took to see these results be persistent. Now, some people discontinued this quicker than 6 weeks. It was pretty fast after there. But it's the concept of, doing a series of treatments. Yeah, as Tammy says here, the idea that a treatment doesn't have to be done over and over and over again to see results. Is it something that should be done quietly? That's a good question. I think that it benefits from it because it's brain work. And if you're trying to engage the brain in something like detoxing itself, you don't want to be doing that while, being hyper or having a bunch of kids running around you screaming or watching some action movie on TV. You're probably better to do it just laying down and relaxing, maybe even with your eyes closed. But again, like we had a wide variety of people trying this with different methods. So people were just hitting it from different angles. How am I going to do it today? What am I going to do there? And some people did it in different times of the day. We don't have that exact data there. All we know is that ultimately this vast treatment done across a decent, significant sized group provided these results by doing it daily. A couple of people missed they might miss a day every so often and still got the results as well. But I always find with microcurrent, consistency is absolutely key. Okay, so we have witnessed remarkable turnarounds in people who tried this protocol. And honestly, the in-house testing was amazing. It really bolstered my confidence. And I wish that we have more opportunities to do that with protocols before we release them to the public. But if you're experiencing insomnia, anxiety, depression, PTSD, anything like this that could even be related to chronic pain, I honestly cannot recommend trying this treatment enough. So there you have it. It's easy to do if you have an evolution or a professional device. It works to remedy so many issues that could be blocking your healing. So thank you so much for joining me. And as always, if there's anything that we can do to help you, just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next week for another Monday 10-minute training. Take care, everyone.